Mullarkey. I'll be talking about impact today.
Welcome to the Comedy Store. This is the London Business Forum. It's time to start the show.
Thank you. Every Wednesday and Sunday, I'm normally on stage here with the Comedy Store players doing an improv show. I use the word improv because it's not just improvising, hey, what the heck. It's not just being spontaneous, saying the first thing that comes into your head. This is a skill. This is a form of theatre that's been around since the 1920s. A woman called Viola Spolin was teaching children in Chicago, immigrant children who didn't speak English as their first language, to learn language, to become more confident. And it's kind of come full circle now because I'm using those exercises, those drills, those skills to enhance people's communication skills. After the 1920s, her son created a thing called Second City Theatre Company. Anyone heard of Second City from the United States or Canada? Hands up? Okay, fine. Second City started using the skills of improv to, not as a means, but an end to create comedy sketch shows. And a lot of the people you'd have heard of have graduated from Second City, like Tina Fey, Mike Myers, who taught me and founded the Comedy Store Players, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd. So the skills of improv are learnable and scalable, but it's actually a particular form of theatre. It's also actually broader because we talk a lot about it almost as a philosophy. So the skills of improv, and I will use that word every time I'm referring to it, because a lot of what I talk about is from the world of improv. How do we make better improv scenes? How do we make better improv characters? And I'll be sharing that with you. First rule of improv is to listen, to really listen to what the other person said. It's not what you expect. It's not, a lot of people are, how can you teach improv? Well, you can, because it's a very particular skill. It's not just trying to think of funny stuff. You're actually trying to create scenes. You're trying to create a collaborative work of art. You're trying to create stories. But this word impact, why have you come here? Impact, personal impact is a big thing, isn't it? You're smiling at me. You said, have you written anything down yet? No, okay. It's all right. Because I am intrigued by how we play our role in the world. What's your name, sir? Simon. Do you want to just stand up for a moment, Simon? And you said they wouldn't be picked on, but you're not being picked on. So it's all right. Tom, stand up for a moment there. So imagine these two people in a conversation. Where is the impact residing? He's talking, he's listening. Where is the impact residing? Simon. Simon. So everything is there. So the impact of you is on him. Is that right? Yes. But actually there's a bit of a loop, isn't there? Because as he sees the impact he's having on him, he'll notice it, won't he? Or not. So there's a very good phrase. Here you are. Give them a round of applause. And you get a little pen for being my volunteer there. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Simon. You see, it was worth it, wasn't it? Anyone heard of a man called George Herbert Mead? I love this quote, which is, the meaning of a gesture is in the response. The meaning of a gesture is in the response. What he didn't say was that then the response is itself a gesture. So he's talking about a gesture being vocal, verbal, physical, or lack thereof. So the whole time we're continually kind of interpreting, consciously and probably unconsciously, what people are doing, how we interpret, how we feel about it. And what's interesting is that a lot of stuff that we think we're thinking about up here in our brain is actually our body. A lot of research has looked at how decision-making is done, and quite often your body has made the decision to do something, your limbic brain, about 0.2 of a second before you think your brain kind of gets to it. So a lot of what we call thinking or decision-making is kind of your brain commenting on what your body has decided to do. A lot of organisations, the conversations tend to be like this. Well, this is what I think, this is what I think, this is what I think. Well, this is what I think, this is what I think, this is what I think. Well, good, now I know what I think. And you go away unchanged. And in improv we say, how can your character, how can you be altered by the scene? What's the point of having a dramatic scene unless somebody's being altered? So do you go to your meetings thinking, how can I learn from this? How can I be altered? Or do you go thinking, right, I'm going to say my bit and I'm going to try and shut the others up? Because my contention is that we're all improvising all the time, even if we choose to improvise a previously written script or do the other stuff we've done before. Real listening means taking on board and possibly being changed by what you've heard. And certainly that's our ethos in improv. So, how does this relate to having an impact in the workplace? Customer service, negotiation, leadership. A lot of this stuff is actually quite straightforward, and as I say, you perhaps haven't articulated, so I'm going to give you 10 tweaks to your toolbox. Try and think of every encounter you have as a learning experience. How can I learn from this person? Whether it's dealing with one of your team, whether you're talking to one of your leaders, even customer service, how from this complaint, whatever, can I learn something? Rather than treating the customer as an idiot, but somebody who's teaching you how to give a better service. That's a different mindset from how can I get rid of this as soon as possible. So, turn to somebody you don't know and learn their name now. Simon, who did you find out the name of?
Neil and Val.
Neil and Val. Are Neil and Val together today, or? You don't? You didn't get that far. Okay, that's fine. So did Neil and Val just learn Simon's name? Which one is Neil and Val? Hello, do you work together?
Yes.
In the same company? Okay. So Val said, in the same company. Neil said, yeah, we work together. So there's obviously some kind of disconnect going on there. And Neil thinks he's working with you, Val, but you're just very much, obviously, you're much higher than him, and he's kind of somewhere low on the food chain. Is that right? Are you spelling your name, Neil, the proper way?
Same as you.
Yeah, that's the proper way, okay, because there are other ways. Okay, so you see, it's just a simple thing, but the thing is, many of us, I just can't remember people's names, so don't try and learn 10 names at once. Learn them one at a time. If in doubt, cheat. Get the names ahead of time. A lot of your meetings might involve fewer than half a dozen, is that right? Neil, what kind of impact, where's the impact you want to have as a result of today?
Just in terms of peer group and above.
Okay.
The impact on that.
Okay, so learning names is good, and learning some stuff about them. Something you can connect with is good as well. Yes, information is power, did you say? Okay, you're writing your own lecture now, that's great. So you want to connect more with Val. That's the thing, really, isn't it? You're having, come here as kind of, well, we're not really communicating. What's the impact we're having on one another? In our society, we add on trustworthiness, friendliness, reliability to somebody who's got good eye contact. It's not fair, because there may be all sorts of reasons why people don't give a good eye contact. But in this kind of environment, I'm trying to look at everybody. Imagine when this is full, you've got to do a lot of this. But you've got to try and feel that you're giving everyone a bit of a chance. But if you're in a one-on-one or a smaller group, do you go to meetings and you suddenly realise that somebody's getting more eye contact than you? Do you get that, Simon? Neil, does Val never look at you in meetings? But you know what I mean? They'll tend to look at the person they think is most important. Or they'll look at the one who's nicest and be a bit scared of the other people. Or they'll look only at the budget holder. Because obviously you're the one that holds the money. And the message it sends to the rest of the group is very potent, isn't it? It's not a good message. We like people who listen to us. We like people who've taken on board the things that we've said and show by what they have said that they have heard us. I call it listening with intent. I'm intending to use something you've given me in the way that I respond. Neil, the two Neils, here we are. We're going to tell a story one word at a time. Okay, which is a great listening exercise, and you probably have seen this on Whose Line Is It Anyway, or played with your children. What happens is that you can't think too far ahead. I
Went
to
the
beach,
and
I
saw
a
giraffe.
it
Was
huge.
and
I
also
ate
a
sandwich.
which
The
owner
said
was,
his.
but
The
other
giraffe.
nicked
My
sandwich.
what
A
bastard.
so
I
bought
some
more,
sandwiches.
and
My
dog
ate
all
my
sandwiches.
what
A
bastard.
then
I
bought
some
drink.
ooh
How
much
did
I
pay
for
that?
wine.
Too
Much.
exactly.
I
Then
followed an orangutan who fell
Over
the
fence
trying
to
kiss
my
giraffe
on
the
bottom.
excellent. Big round of applause to Neil. Thank you. And you get a CD pen. Okay, there you are.
It was better in the middle when he was looking at you.
When he was looking at me, it seemed to be better, didn't it? It's interesting because you'll see that quite often in this game and in real life as well, people think, I've got to think of something, so, oh, it's over here. Oh, somewhere deep within me, there's the answer. Instead of saying, because everything I said was trying to link to what you said. Okay, I've played this game before, so I had an advantage on you, but I couldn't do it without you. That's the point. And improv, and this I think is a very important thing for those of you trying to improve your impact. Improv says, if I can make you look good, I look good. So actually, we wanted Neil to win, didn't we? We didn't want me to be better than him. When you looked at me, there's something going on more than if people go, oh, I've got an idea over here. It's deep within my imagination. And then you start panicking. So I don't know the answer. I can't think of anything. You're delving. You're mentally going through your own files of stuff rather than saying, okay, what I need to do is try and pick up on what the other person's given me. Okay? So that's what improv says. Or how can I accept this offer and build on it? How can I build on the offer? Play this game and see how it feels. See how frustrating it is if people don't say the word you want them to. Okay, it's a silly childlike game, but notice, I often do it with people and often say, oh, he's just like that in real life. He's trying to shove in his giraffe when the sandwich seems to be the word, okay? He's trying to be clever by upending everybody else's expectations. Okay, so turn around, groups of 3 or 4, and we'll have the story, the day I went to the zoo. Okay, off you go. Okay. Okay, the giraffes come back. How often does that happen when you can't let go of your legacy issues? The old stuff is still in there. But who got cross when somebody wasn't saying the thing that seems so obvious to them? Do you see what I mean? The meaning of the gesture is in the response. I bought my mobile from Virgin Megastore many years ago. You could actually buy a handset with a number on. And mine is 079 413 55413. Why do you think I chose that one? There's a little rhythm, isn't there? But if you're an 0777 kind of person, you won't have heard it. So I'll go to somebody on the, oh, my number is 079 413. There's a little rhythm. And they go, oh, right, Mr. Mullarkey, it's 0794 13. And they, first one I go, no, you got it wrong. Oh, yes, you have got it right, but not in the way I would do it. I hate you. And so, how do you show you've listened? Well, the next letter is link. Try and link what you say to something they've said. Okay? So, notice how you might have got frustrated in this game we just played when somebody didn't say the thing you said. And then any examples of that?
Well, Ross behind me thought that he'd said the wrong word. He felt he'd said the wrong word, but it sounded in the right context to what I'd said.
Okay.
So he was frustrated.
Thank you for speaking for Ross, who's behind you, wearing a suit actually, that's nice. Ross, what was the thing that you said that was somehow wrong and yet now we find it's right?
Julie said potato, and I wanted to say chip, but then I thought I'm not American, so I just ended up saying crisp.
Okay, I think we need to clear the room. Let's deal with your issues here, Ross. This is really heavy. I had no idea we'd get so deep so quickly, my goodness. So you want to say potato, but look, I'm delighted, Ross, you said that, because look how our mind works. Okay, in a flash of a second, he's commenting upon what he's thinking. That's what's going on a lot of the time. We're thinking about what we're thinking. It's fascinating, isn't it? So he went through, in a B, he said potato, he wants to say potato chip. Wait a minute, I don't want them thinking I'm American. I'll say potato crisp. What's going on is often to do with the body. And we think we're all rational 21st century beings. It's all about Excel spreadsheets, numbers, analytical stuff. But actually we're just mere animals wandering around the forest, stealing each other's food or sharing our food. Okay, I think that's probably it. So thank you very much. Thank you particularly to my volunteers, Julie, Simon, Tom. Thank you.